Hi, I'm Sandra from mocha.com, and in this video I'm going to tell you something more about myself and how I started my self-help work and why did I start it in the first place. So, first thing I need to tell you is that I'm agoraphobic. I have agoraphobia, which is defined uh, like a state that makes you feel safe only in your home. When you are out of your home, you're supposed to feel bad. You're supposed to have panic attacks or some other symptoms. You can find that on Wikipedia or any other website that talks about it. Anyway, how it started for me, it's that in 1999, before 1999, 1990, sorry, everything works normal. Like I lived a normal life and went to school, then tried studying on a university. Then I left one university and went to another, and then I dropped out. I didn't feel good. I had stomach problems, as doctor said. So I felt nausea when I'm in a bus or in a crowded place, not a crowded place, but stuffy places when where the smells are bad. I was not afraid in environment when there was many people, but what bothered me more was like smells. But at that time, I didn't know those are panic attacks, and afterwards, uh, when I learned that were panic attacks, I realized that I had those panic attacks as long as I remember. Anyway, in 1990, it started getting worse, and like I could feel the like 5 minutes because before it would start raining, I would feel dizzy and nausea, and I felt like I need to go to a toilet or something. So I would stop my car, or I would always have a bottle of water and sandwich with me, which was like comforting in one way, and in another way it really helped. Like I would take a bite of sandwich and drink some water and I would feel a little better. But since it was the summer, August, and that those that worst period was at August and beginning of September, so it was very hot. That summer was very hot. I was feeling really bad, and I started dropping out from work. I would come to work and then felt bad and then go home and things like that. Then one night after work, no, one day I was crossing the bridge and there was a there was a light on the end of the bridge, like a crossroad, and that bridge was totally sunny and warm, and I felt really bad. I felt so bad that I took a bottle of water, pulled. I didn't stop the car because I didn't have anywhere to stop. So I took the bottle of water and passed through a red light, flashing water over my face and my head. And after I did it, I found the first uh, place I can park my car, and I stopped and I got out of the car and I started going. And I was like, where the hell am I going? So I stopped and sat on some, I don't know, what was that? It was not a bench, it was some stone, I don't know. And I stopped and I was trying to calm myself and thinking, what the hell happened to me? Because I went through a red light, endangering myself and endangering others. I start wondering, what the hell am I doing? What the hell is going on with me? Anyway, I got my breath and I recuperate myself and realized that something serious is going on with me. And I proceeded to my work and I got a little better. But a couple of days after that, after work, I used to work at a casino as a casino dealer. So I was working second shift, and after work we used to go to some restaurant or some club. So we went to a club and I didn't feel good and decided to go home. I got to my car, and since I live in a suburb, I had to go through some part where it's dark. But since I felt bad, I didn't feel good, better to say, I was afraid to go to that part, through that part. So I stopped and waited for some car to come. It was middle of the night. I waited for some car to come and so that I can go in front of those cars. So if I feel bad in the middle of nowhere, I would stop the car in the middle so that car behind me would have to stop and help me. You can imagine how crazy that was, but it was something I came up so that I can overcome the fear to go toward my home, to that dark part. Anyway, I got home and I felt bad. And I didn't feel anything especially bad. Like, I didn't feel pain in my legs or in my kidneys or anywhere. I just felt bad. Like I cannot breathe, like I just have to lay down and close my eyes. And in those days in Serbia, we didn't have those TV programs all night long. But I had the VCR, so I found some movie and put it on. And it was some sad movie. And I was watching the movie because I couldn't sleep yet. I was watching the movie, and uh, the more the movie goes on, I felt worse and worse. And then all of a sudden, I realized that the movie is making me feel bad. That sadness, that sadness that I feel because of that movie makes me feel worse. So I stopped the movie and I made myself calm somehow so I can fall asleep. And in the morning, I called my parents. My parents were out of town. We had a house out of town. So I called my parents to come back home. And from that day on, starts my change in my life, so to say. Now I look at it as a change, but at those times it was not feeling like a change. It was feeling like hell. Anyway, from that day on, I started going to the doctors. One specialist to another. Everyone saying nothing's wrong with me. They cannot find anything wrong with me. They gave me some antibiotics because they thought I have bladder problems, bladder infection or something. So I was taking antibiotics day after day for a month, maybe more. Going to different doctors, getting no special diagnosis except that my iron in my blood was low, uh, and my immune system was down, and that I have candida. I don't know how you pronounce it, but let's say candida albicans. I will give you in writing so you know what I mean. Anyway, finally they sent me to a clinic for tropical diseases because they couldn't find anything wrong with me. So that was the last step. And I was lucky because first I got they I had some doctor there, woman doctor, and she was trying to find out what's wrong with me, but she couldn't. But one day when I came to her office, she said, "I don't know what's going on with you." And the office was full of students because it's university clinic. And at that moment, it was like 5 minutes before the rain, my time for feeling bad. And I was like, I start, I sat on a stool and I said, "Doctor, you don't know what's going on with me, but I feel at this moment like I'm going to die. So something must be wrong with me." And thank God she was not egocentric. So she called the chief at that clinic, and thank God that chief was a good specialist, especially for what I needed him for. Anyway, he took all bunch of paper that I had from all different doctors. He started checking those papers one by one, and then he took one out and said, "You come with me." And that was the day when I started recuperating. Anyway, he was a specialist for candida albicans, and he told me that all that I feel is from that. But the good thing is that he also realized that he did the test for AIDS because my immune system was so low, and usually patient with AIDS has candida sky high, but it was not AIDS also. Anyway, he started treating me, and not just treating me my candida, but he told me that it will take a long time because it's internal. It's not something outside, so you can put some cream on or something or cut that piece. But it's inside my body all over, which was strange for me because that was the first doctor who told me that candida is all over, because I had candida since don't remember. Since the age of when I went first time to gynecologist, that was like age of 19, no, 20. Anyway, and at that time when I noticed that I have candida, everyone would tell me, like doctors would tell me, "Oh, that's nothing. Everyone has that," you know. And they're all connected with sexual organs, but uh, and that's a big mistake. I mean, they tell you, and they pay attention to candida only when you go to a gynecologist. If you take some antibiotic, if you they find you have candida, they just ask you, "Did you have some antibiotics because they make candida grows?" And nothing else, you know. And they in Serbia they give you some drugs. They didn't change the drugs, by the way, for last 20 years, and they have some like new one, but those new one are worse than the old. Never mind. Anyway, I was treated by that doctor for 6 months. I was in a bed. I couldn't move from a bed. My mother made me meals. My mother made me everything that I need. I couldn't even go. I couldn't bath. But I'm going to tell you about that. I found a solution how to take a bath. You wouldn't believe how awful it was. Anyway, I was in a bed for 3 years.